So, but it's been. To the shop. That's true. It's so much. It's like real life. Yeah. And that's what I agree about it. It's my first time. You have to sign in or anything? Nope. You're welcome. So the agenda, something, their agendas are. I don't think. Oh, okay. Okay. You know what, Matt, when you pointed, I thought you were pointing to the end of that table. And
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
no, I got it. I saw the lectern's in my way anyway. Yeah. Yeah. She was in it. I know. Yeah, it's changed a lot. That's my door. I'd like to call the meeting.
Recording in progress.
Can I have a roll call?
Ms. Gerhart?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Ms. Who?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Pasquarelli? Here. Ms. Thomas?
Yes. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I don't know. Just real quick for the public. We're using microphones. So just let us know if they're actually working. Are they working?
Can you hear us?
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, thank Matt and Jill and, all right, but good.
Now work on that thermostat.
Unlock it for us.
Open the screen, isn't there?
Because we figured there's no participation, it's only viewing only of the meeting. So there's no need for the screen.
Okay.
Okay, adequate notice of this meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by forwarding a schedule of regular meetings of the Warren County Library Commission to the Warren County Clerk, the Star Ledger, and the Daily Record, and by posting a copy thereof on the bulletin board in the office of the Board of County Commissioners and the office of the Warren County Clerk. Formal action may be taken by the Warren County Library Commissioners at this meeting. Public participation is encouraged. In order to assure full public participation, those individuals with disabilities who wish to attend the meeting should submit any request for special accommodation 1 week in advance. And then moving down, can I have approval for the minutes of October 28th?
Motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Gerhart?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp? Ms. Coop?
Yes.
Ms. Pasquarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes. And can I have a motion to pay bills?
Motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I do. Jill, just explain what these line items are, summarize more for the public than I.
So this is a list of the checks that were cut. since the last meeting until, last Wednesday. It goes through, we have different accounts for each branch. We also break out computer services administration. And then each line also then has an account number. So, each account number corresponds to maybe operating supplies, office supplies, materials, things like that.
I see JCP&L,
Yes.
Oriental Trading Company, Thanaco, T-Mobile. Just again, for the public to see what Demco, I don't know, Main Library Alliance. Just pretty sizable, relatively speaking. Movie licensing, Service Master Cleaning, Verizon, WB Mason, Office Prize. Brightspeed. That's our internet?
Yes.
Is that the internet service? Okay. Verizon, okay, just take the Baker and Taylor, that's who we buy books from? Or
It
did-
is.
Did buy books from.
Yeah.
This is.
This is the end of it, since they will be closing up shop, beginning in January.
All right, that's all. Let's hang out.
Did you,
They did,
or did you make the roll call?
no, so we're not called, that's just.
We just need to do the roll call,
Did you do the motion and seconding?
I seconded it.
and then there was discussion.
Ms. Bernhardt?
Yes.
Ms. Coop?
Yes.
Ms. Pasquarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes. And were there any communications, Jill?
There was the one email, from a local teacher asking about receiving a card.
And she had to ask because she lives
Outside of our service area.
within the county.
In the county, but we actually issue cards to educators from the schools in our service area that live outside of the service area.
Okay, that's what it was. She lives. Okay. Does she live in the county? I think she.
I believe they said yes,
Yeah,
in one of the areas we, that is not part
part
of
of
our
our service.
yes.
Got it, thank you.
Okay, moving down to public comments on agenda items only. And you would have 4 minutes.
Hi, Sandy Roberts, right? Sandy Roberts from Blairstown. Oh, wow, yeah, that is mine. I think I was used to that. Anyway, thank you so much for summarizing the budget. That's super helpful to understand like what kinds of expenses there are. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the summary of the communications too. That's awesome. I am just coming up because it seems weird that we have all these resolutions. Cool, lots of business, end of year. But no information on what those resolutions really entail, especially like the accessibility policy. Previously, you know, you can actually go and see the agenda still from last year. You know, when there was a update to the policy, the draft policy was provided in advance to the public so that it's a little weird to come up here and like, I have to make my comments about agenda items before the agenda items are even discussed by the commission. So like, how are we supposed to know what you're voting on? If it's not being provided in advance as part of the agenda and you're not describing it before we can comment, it seems like kind of a cart before the horse situation. So I'd love to know more about what the operating budget expenses are for the year, just like you kind of summarized, you know, the monthly budget. I'd love to know more what the accessibility policy is, other than the kind of one line that's included in the agenda. But like more information and more transparency would be incredibly helpful for those of us that, you know, care about the library and care about how our money is being spent. So I encourage you to keep up with the amazing work on the transparency and sharing information with the public. Thank you.
And the accessibility policy had to do with the Americans with Disabilities Act, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Well, we'll discuss it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, and do you want to give the status on the bylaws? They are still a work in. Oh my gosh. I do that all the time.
See, that's why when you vote to close the meeting to the public, then we know. I know.
Hi, Teresa Esposito Jackson, Washington Township. I would like to comment on agenda item Library Commission bylaw status. At the last meeting, when several patrons expressed their concerns about the bylaws, we were told that it's just updating the previous bylaws and there isn't anything controversial there. Despite the commission stating that the bylaws update doesn't contain anything controversial, the commission has spent a significant amount of time and money on updating them. The work on updating the bylaws was first discussed at the March commission meeting, and apparently that work has been ongoing since for a majority of the year. Again, the commission doesn't think that the bylaw updates are anything to be concerned over, yet they've spent over $3,000 on legal fees on them so far. The commission doesn't believe the bylaws are anything contentious, yet we've repeatedly asked about what the updates entail, if the public would be able to see and comment on them before they are voted on, and we're just being told TBD. I don't understand how the commission can think that something isn't controversial, yet won't commit to the public having a chance to see and comment on them before they are voted on. If there isn't anything in them that would be objectionable or problematic, there should be no issue with the public getting a chance to participate in their discussion and in their passing. Also, the current bylaws in Article 8 state that bylaws may be amended at any regular meeting of the Library Commission by a majority vote of the commission, provided that the amendment has been submitted in writing at the previous regular meeting. The vote cannot occur unless it has been submitted in writing at a previous meeting. This requirement would give the public a month to review the bylaw amendments and have a chance to comment on them. I also think it is important for the commission to explain why the bylaws are taking so long and why they're costing the taxpayers thousands of dollars. If you can't explain the specifics of the updates, you should at very least explain the timeline, the process, and the cost. If you don't want the public to be concerned and believe that this is being overblown, then put our minds at ease and be more forthcoming with what is actually happening with the bylaws. I would also like to comment on the agenda item approval of the minutes for October 28th meeting. There is no mention at the October meeting about changing the date of this meeting. In the current bylaws under Article 5, the meetings are appointed at the reorganization meeting in January. There was no vote to amend the schedule in October. The chairperson or majority of the commission can schedule special meetings, but this isn't a special or additional meeting. Why was this meeting changed? Why wasn't the date changed or presented and voted on at the October meeting? Switching the meeting to the Tuesday before a major holiday when people are traveling with little to no real notice, especially since this change wasn't presented at the previous meeting, could lead to schedule conflicts and a decrease in patron participation, which I truly hope wasn't the goal of this date change. This is even more concerning due to the fact that this is the last meeting of the year. Finally, I would like to comment on the agenda item public comments. Myself and others have noticed that our public comments are not being accurately represented in the library minutes. There are entire sections of our comments that aren't being represented at all or being so simplified that the message of the comment was either warped or lost. For example, at the September meeting, my public comment in regards to the commission's behavior was represented as expressed her views on the commission being vague and unresponsive to the public and her concern that the commission meeting was scheduled on Rosh Hashanah. While these concerns were certainly expressed, what wasn't included and what I believe is paramount aspect of my comment was not about being vague or unresponsive, but it was about the ugly, unseemly, and disreputable way members of the commission behaved at the June commission meeting. The unresponsive aspect of the minutes refers to the fact that you never responded to my letter about the commission's conduct at the June meeting. Why the commission chose to focus on the lack of response rather than the actual concern about conduct and leadership is probably obvious to everyone here. This is also true in the June minutes when my comments were represented as stated that there's a lot of misinformation about discarded books and the Friends book sale and expressed concern that the library is losing talented staff. Once again, while I said these things, what wasn't included and what also makes the commission look bad are my comments about how much we've already paid for a lawyer, who, by the way, from this past January up until October 24th has cost the library $17,907.50. The fact that you've used this lawyer to try and get rid of public communications and the concern of the
Thank
commission.
you for your comment.
Okay.
Good job. Anyone else?
Kelly Nemeke, White Township. I just want to echo the concern with the minutes not reflecting the main idea of the comments that are being given by certain members of the public. For myself, my June comment minutes literally just say, I spoke for the full 4 minutes till the timer was out. I spent the first 20 seconds saying that my only intention that day was to say that summer reading was great, thank you for the kickoff, it was great, my family had a great time. But after things that have occurred in the meeting, I spent the other 3.5 minutes talking about the importance of sex education materials being available to all residents who use this library, and that was not there. The thing in my minutes says literally, Kelly Nemeke expressed appreciation for summer reading. And that is also a form of censorship. So, pointing that out.
Thank you for your comment.
Jill, who is in charge of going through and collecting the minutes from that's on your end?
Right, the
Okay.
administrative secretary.
Okay, so how could we remedy that? How could we include more?
I think we'd have to talk with a lawyer because I think there's some misunderstanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, that we've shortened them because they were supposed to be like you thought it was supposed to be like a one sentence.
Well, correct. Minutes are just really what the purpose is to memorialize action that was taken at the meetings. When you're dealing with public comment, it's really, you're just looking to put something that's topical to reflect the fact that the person spoke and the general subject matter of what they spoke about. It's not really, the purpose of it is again, not to put a transcript. It's supposed to be a document that memorializes action that was taken at the meeting. So it would be unusual to be doing like a lengthy section, especially on public comment, because it's really irrelevant to any action that was taken. You're just memorializing the fact that somebody spoke and what they spoke about.
So from your perspective, you're hoping to have more of a documentation of exactly what you're saying.
It doesn't
And
have
the-
to be pages long.
No, and the purpose of that is just so it's part of the.
Yes.
So you're having that information as part of like a history of a record of what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Okay. So is that? So I understand what you're saying. It's not an action, it's their thoughts and feelings that they're sharing with us.
I'm not, yeah.
No, I'm just wondering how we can. You know, we have things that people say, and I think that we need to give some response.
Yes.
Response or
Response or just some like, you know, other than we hear what you, that we've heard what you said and. I don't know, I mean, I don't know, I'm just, I'm just problem solving. Just trying to think how we can remedy some of these things, so people don't have to keep repeating themselves,
Understood.
so. Oh, sorry.
Anyone else from the public? I'm not seeing anyone. Moving down to old business, a status on the bylaws. Things like this do take a lot of time, because we want to make sure that we get everything right, and we have revisited them numerous times just because of other things that we learned or other things that we thought about. I mean, granted, this was even being done with the previous attorney, and this was supposed to be done for a very long time, so it is a long process. Do you want to add anything else to that?
going from a 2-page to a 7-page document at this point. So, which indicates the comprehensive nature of it, and what you said was the other day, we want to get this right. So it'll last for 100 years. Well, I don't know about 100 years, but that there won't need to be, though, there's always the option of us amending them, you know, if something isn't perfect, or we learn something, or we experience something that we say, you know, we ought to tweak that.
Right.
We can do it without being too onerous. But
Right.
yeah, now we're to the point that tonight, subcommittee is gonna meet with the attorney, and which we hope is the last discussion before we have a draft to go out to the members, other commissioners, and to Jill to get comments on something. And let me mention now, the budget section really need you to look at, because we're trying to understand that process. And what I drafted, I'm not sure that's like correct or the best thing, so definitely looking for your comment, look at that.
Thank you. And there is no new business.
Can I just?
Oh.
No,
Well, this isn't public, yeah, there's still be another public discussion. There'll be another section of public discussion.
Thank you.
So moving down to resolutions, resolution to set the date for the reorganization meeting. So everybody want to take a look at their January calendar? In previous years, wasn't it like when it was on Thursday, it was the reorg was the first Thursday of the month?
Correct.
Okay, so does anybody have a problem with the first Tuesday
I'm
of
clear.
January?
I'm clear.
I'm clear.
I think so, yes. I just wanted to.
Okay, is
That
that,
could be to the end of the meeting. Go back, we could revise it.
I think I can do the sixth.
It'd be 5:30, right?
5:30,
January sixth.
January sixth? Everybody over there, all good with that? Okay, so do I?
Oh, well, that's not right. Oh,
All right.
Resolutions.
All right, can I have a motion to schedule the reorganization meeting for January sixth, 2026?
I'll make a motion to schedule the reorganization meeting on January sixth at 5:30.
Oh, second.
And then we'll have our regular meeting
Oh,
on the
on the
27th.
27th.
Oh.
Roll call?
Ms. Gerhard?
Yes.
Ms. Coop? Yes. Ms. Pascarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes. Okay, and then a resolution to adopt the 2026 operating budget. So we had a subcommittee working on that.
I met with both Debbie and Tammy. I remember, was that last week, 2 weeks ago?
Was last Monday.
Last week, okay. What we are in charge of is the operating budget. The tax ratables are, once again, 4.72 million is what they're expecting to be taking in. What I did is added, it's pretty much the exact same as 2025, which I gave you copies of in the packet last month. I did add in some money for things that we see increases in programming. I'm shocked at how much some of the programs have gone up in cost, even the travel costs have gone up for us. Putting a little more money for computer software, contracted services, a little bit for materials. I put in some extra for continuing education for the staff. I'd really like to encourage them to attend some in-person meetings and workshops and conferences. Kind of isolated a little bit up here from the rest of the state at times. So I think it'd be really helpful for them if you could get them out to meet some other library staff and get some fresh new ideas and feedback even on what they're doing, maybe from somebody outside of the system. Our digital resources, like our ebooks, every year, those continue to go up. We just met with our Hoopla customer service rep, and this year we're up 21%. So I put in a little bit of extra money there to hopefully.
Refresh our memory what Hoopla is.
Hoopla is the ebooks, e-audio, they have movies, music, TV, comics. There's like 7 categories of different offerings for
But it's
Hoopla.
not Libby. It's
No,
not iCloud, excuse me, it's a good thing.
Separate.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's pretty much within, I think, 35,000 of what I had submitted last year. The county finance office takes the figures that we put in. I believe they run it through a program. They always put some money in lines that we don't use, but potentially maybe at their end they use for maybe chargebacks for services that are done by other departments that we get charged back for at the end of the year. So it builds in some wiggle room, I'll say.
Yeah, I mean. I learned a lot about the budget going through it in terms of, it's not just Jill sits down and. Makes a list. It's you're working off, I mean, we had no idea how we had really looked at it that closely, but there's preset line items. That were established by the county finance office. And I mean, they're subject to change. Basically, you're following what they give you. And you see what was budgeted this year, what's spent so far year to date. And then what she's proposed for next year. And
And I
we
should,
thought it all looked good.
and I should say I work closely with Amy Rodriguez, our bookkeeper.
Does she report to you?
Yes,
She
yes,
does, but she works closely with the finance, with the CFO.
yes, yep, she works with the departments over there as well.
Who's the one doing that?
Yes.
That's
She's excellent. She goes through and does all of our salary, wages, benefits calculations for the year. She throws in the minimum wage increases. She goes in, looks at the union contracts, looks at the step increases. So she does an excellent job at that.
That's great. Anything else? Okay, can I have a motion to,
I'll make a motion to adopt the proposed 2026 operating budget and submit it to county administration, which I call county administration. That covers both the county commissioners and the CFO.
Second.
roll call?
Ms. Gerhart,
Yes.
Ms. Coop,
Yes.
Ms. Pascarelli,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas.
Yes. And then a resolution to adopt an accessibility policy. So Jill, you want to just go over that real quick?
Sure. Everything including here, we already do. We already have handicap accessibility at all of our locations. It came up, when the Friends of the Library were applying for this year's arts grant through the county. They now require, that the library have a written accessibility policy. That's why we put it together and put it in with this month's application. So Linda Schloss from the Friends of the Library, she puts together the application for us, working with our 2 programming staff members. And that's what we put together. Again, it's nothing new. Like if there's an issue, contact me. Certainly let staff know if there's an accommodation we can make for you, that type of information.
So basically you memorialize what is already in place.
Correct. We put it in writing I did the arts grant for 15 years or more. And at that time, we just had to write down that we were ADA compliant, just a simple 1-sentence suffice for the grant. However, they changed it a little bit.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to adopt the accessibility policy?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Gerhart,
Yes.
Ms. Coop,
Yes.
Ms. Pascarelli,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas.
Yes. And down to library director report.
Well, as you can see, we have a wonderful new member to our team.
Hello.
We were able to hire for our administrative secretary assistant position. This is Jennifer Fenoro. She's from Washington, so she's local. It's great. Been here week and a half, 2 weeks. Okay. So Jennifer did help, starting with the passive information, putting it together. Kind of learning the ropes here as we go. She's been working closely with Amy Rodriguez, who I mentioned earlier. Amy had been covering for the past 3 months, doing both jobs for us. So kind of learning the ropes, right? Yes. For now, a big part of Jennifer's time has been helping us unpack all of our book orders from Amazon. We have to go through, she has to, check off, yes, we received the right titles, we received the right quantities, and then she has to go through and divide them up amongst the branches. So we're hopeful, the new year that we're gonna have our new book vendor completely set up with processing. but for now, we have to continue with the Amazon. Northeast, they've got, I don't know if anyone's been there, but they have a newly paved parking lot. Repainted all of the lines. And just before early voting started, they put in a handicap ramp on the side entrance of the meeting room. So then when the library was closed, people could access early voting. When we're open, people can just go through the library because there's a ramp outside into the meeting room. But it's nice to have the extra access.
Which
If-
branch was it? Which branch?
That's our northeast branch.
Northeast, okay, I just didn't hear.
We're still working out a few kinks at CDH. We at least have parking lights on at night now. There was an issue with the timing for those, so patrons and staff were leaving in the dark. That's been fixed. We're very happy about that. They've installed some utility shelving in their storage space. They just had boxes on the floor, but now with the shelving, they can actually get things organized, so that's been a big help, they said. And they're finding that they have a lot more space in that room, which is wonderful. We are looking in 2026, next year, to install some acoustic tiles in the kids area, trying to reduce some of the noise levels. We think we can put some tiles in between the shelving, which will help. And then if you remember, they have an open wall right now at the end of the children's room. And Kelly Durkin, our branch manager, has been looking at some murals made up of acoustic tiles. So we're thinking that might be a possibility as well.
Pretty loud in there.
It is.
Yeah, it's really
It's
loud.
one open space.
Yeah.
And the tall ceilings in
Yes.
certain areas as well. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that it'll be an improvement. The architect, hopefully next week, is gonna be sending us some designs. The radiators that they installed are not the low temperature surface ones that you can run and you could touch it and not be hurt. So he's looking at designing some lower bookshelves that would kind of conceal the radiators so nobody could touch them. But be high enough to allow airflow. We'll see. Yes. What else? They discovered this week that the high windows to the side of the circulation desk at certain times of the day with the sun coming in, it's blinding staff at the desk and the patrons. And it's so bright, they can't use their barcode scanners. So we are looking at what type of, if we can put a darker film on the windows, maybe some sort of blind system. They're gonna see how many days is this lasting, you know, why the sun keeps moving. They might have to be wearing sunglasses out there. We'll have to come up with a little bit of a solution for the times of the year where it's just hitting that desk perfectly. What else at CDH? We are still waiting for the fire suppression system to be installed in the book drop. Hopefully that'll be done by the end of the year, so we can then get rid of the outdoor book drop and people can just use the internal book drop.
I'm following you. What if somebody comes after hours?
They can use the external book drop. And once the fire suppression system is in, they could also use the internal one. It's
Oh,
right
right,
on
it's an
the
additional.
outside next to the front door.
Yeah.
They could slide in the materials. This month we celebrated Children's Book Week. If you were in any of our libraries, you saw some of the fun displays that the staff put up. And they also had a good time creating posters with pictures of themselves holding up some of their favorite children's books. They're very cute. The ambassador for Children's Book Week was Dave Pilkey this year. So he's kind of known for Dog Man. Captain Underpants. And we had some fun little raffles to give away with some of his books and also just some coloring sheets for the kids. And then Debbie, you mentioned earlier Libby. We are switching officially from Cloud Library to Libby. The go live date is January 6th. Libby is the ebook service that all the other main libraries use. So by joining them, we're gonna have increased number of titles that we can check out. I think Matthew had estimated about 30,000 additional titles, 6,000 magazines, which is much better than our current Flipster, which were about 50 titles. Oh, it's nice too, because right now we allow you in Cloud Library to place 6 holds at a time and check out 4 titles at a time. Those numbers will go up to 10. So you could have a little bit more flexibility to place items on hold, things that you want to read in the future. We've begun some advertising for this, trying to let patrons know this is coming. Matthew's worked with both companies, OCLC with Cloud Library and Overdrive with Libby. We can transfer the majority of our titles that we still have licenses for over to Libby, but we cannot transfer patrons' holds. So people will have to kind of create their own little list of what they still had on hold in Cloud Library and place those holds again in Libby if they still want the titles.
So like my history of the books that I borrowed, that's on the library system. That's not on,
If you opted in, yes.
yeah, if I opted in, so I'm not gonna lose that.
No,
Then I wanna remember sometimes a particular title, that'll still be there.
no, the books that you checked out would be in Koha, which is our integrated library system. And if you opted in to save that reading history, you would have it still in
When
Koha.
that change was done. So I printed it. Thank you.
Any questions on any of that?
And that's too bad about what's going on over
Yeah.
Town.
There's, gotta work out a few things still.
Yeah,
It'll take time, but we'll get there.
no, yeah. He's gotta be hopeful.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Any commissioner comments? Anyone?
I have one. I just signed the minutes from the October meeting. And just wanted the public to know that the prior system it would have taken longer,
We started the change last month.
right?
So
Whereas,
if there are no changes, you can go ahead and sign the minutes and then we'll get them posted.
okay, so assuming there's no changes have to be made in the document.
Correct.
Because of amendments made by the commission members. They'll be posted in a timely manner following the meeting at which.
Correct.
I saw.
We're not waiting to the following meeting.
So then those are accessible immediately to the public
On
then?
the website.
Okay. And also, I'm sorry, are you done?
Not tonight.
Yeah, no, not tonight. No.
They're
No,
in a timely manner, they'll be.
right. Are you done?
Okay.
And the change in schedule for this meeting, was just simply, logistical for different people who weren't able to make it tonight. So there was no ulterior motive or anything. It was just simply a scheduling issue. So I apologize if anybody wasn't able to make it due to that change.
Yeah, they weren't, there wasn't gonna be a full commission last week. You would think it was gonna
Wasn't
be,
gonna be
you
a
would,
quorum.
there wasn't gonna be a quorum. You would
Right.
think it would happen the week of Thanksgiving, but it didn't happen last week, so that's why we had to change it. Cause this week we were good. Okay. And any closing public comments? Any closing public comments?
Somebody wanted.
Judy McDonald, Liberty. Last month I left information with you regarding the placement of the books in the library. I'm hoping that you had an opportunity to talk about it, and if so, do you have any answers to share with us tonight?
Yes, I think you had asked, why it was placed in a
Yes.
teen collection. I see it was purchased 9 years ago in 2016. And at that time, I could see where the book vendor had it listed as core adult nonfiction for YA and books for teens, 2007. So my best guess, again, I don't know from 9 years ago, is that they were doing it based upon the listing by the book vendor.
Would you consider, would the commission consider, discussing this further, maybe with the director and assistant director, the information that I provided last month?
Is it specific to one book? Or was there?
The one book. So I'd just like you to consider that. Thank you. And also, thank you, Kathleen, for your consideration for the minutes. I think that was great that you did that, and to me,
She's the kindergarten teacher anyway.
yeah, thank you. And would you answer that, the commission? Would you consider a discussion about the information I presented with the director? Yes.
Jill, you came back and took copies of all that, of what,
Yes,
would you be able to make,
the book Fun Home.
it was that whole packet that she had made. Would you be able to get one for everybody?
That'd be fine.
All right, thank you.
And then maybe present that at the next meeting in January, what? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Dr. Marianne Boyd, and I would first of all like to thank you for the microphones. What
Better?
What an added pleasure. Yes, thank you. I also want to thank you for arranging the Len Rue Jr. Delaware Water Gap presentation. It was held at the Catherine Dixon Hoffman Library on Wednesday, November 12th. My husband and I attended. There was a fairly good turnout. And for the program, great photographs accompanied by interesting information about river life and wildlife. So I want to thank you. It was a really, in my opinion, well done. And of course, I've been in that area a long time, and his father was quite well known too, but he did a fantastic job. And I'd like to thank you for that. Last thing, I believe these kinds of programs are those that our young people can benefit from. They're educational, appealing, and will hopefully develop an appreciation by all for the beautiful area in which we live. So I'd like to encourage you to have more of programs like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And I should say, Mr. Rue, and his father before him have done programs for us for years, and they always give us a very nice discount, which we appreciate.
Oh, that's nice.
Anyone else from the public? Not seeing anyone? Okay, next executive session. Can I have a motion that we go into executive session?
I'll make that motion to enter into executive session to discuss contracts.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Ms. Gerhard,
Is that?
Yes.
Ms. Coop,
Yes.
Ms. Pascarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
just for purposes of making sure it's on record with the public, do you anticipate action?
I was just gonna say that, no, we don't anticipate any action. Okay, so we're gonna be going into executive session now. So we don't anticipate any action being taken. It's just for discussing contractual purposes. So thank you for coming, and if you want to come back in once we're done, then we should be, what do you think, maybe 10 to 15 minutes? Maybe 15 minutes, Ms. Pasquarelli?
Recording stopped.
Yeah, no, how long? Whole day? Yeah, like maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah.
Hold it at one then. Yep.
So that has a while. That is the whole lot that I've gone up and I don't worry about. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can like. I will, I'll send you one. Oh, that would be fine. That'd be great. I've been volunteering. All right, Matt, I will tell you.
Yeah, it's not gonna all nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Madam Chair.
Right,
the
yeah,
executive-
Sorry.
Executive in this room.
Yes.
Should have gone, you have so
Oh, in January. Thank you. Take
I
care.
don't know why it's not trying to.
No, I know, but how did
That's easy to be.
Yeah.
Joe. Before, before. Because that's what's about. Actually, you know, they can just. Yeah.
No, this is true. He stopped.
Actually, I don't know if I'm.
Have a nice.
You too. Well, Adam, I said hi. I don't know if you remember, so you can see him.
I will, same for Thanksgiving.
Here. I will.
For me.
I will. Okay, sounds good. Bye, take care. I don't know what's going on. Let's just- Maybe because. Start again.
So now I just want to hang out.
You wanna stop the recording?
Hey, Jill, recording turned off.
Yeah, everything is off, everything is off. Yes.
Please exit the building. So we can have a meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the two, right? Everybody but you, right? Yeah.
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 Like those things work really well.
Yeah, right?
But just,
I'm amazed.
somebody bring it home.
I know, I'm like totally amazed that, like, really, that's not what happens to me, like, every possible.
Yeah, enjoy. Take care. Thank you.
And Dawn, you were sitting in the back, so you can hear us.
Oh, good.
I'm so sorry.
After
Matt.
Yeah.
I guess that you found them, right? Did you find them in the
Bill
closet?
dug them out and was like, see if you can get this to work. And then we ordered, we got to work and we ordered these little stands. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, cause she's better for that. I was amazed that it worked. Cause I was like, what is this thing? Right? Yeah.
This is pretty clear.
Yeah.
Have a nice night.
Sort of. It's like,
Jill?
or.
All right, so we're gonna go into executive session and then we have a meeting.
Okay.
Hall.
Alrighty. Yeah,
If you tell.
Leave your stuff here. It's just gonna be.
Sure.
you're good, yeah.
You guys have a good night.
Happy Thanksgiving and thank you.
Yeah, enjoy.
Thanks, Tony.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Take care. You're not next door?
See you.
Now, the other one is.
I got my partners over there now, they're like, ours is over.
They're done already?
He just sent me a stuff, like, ours is over,
He actually was.
like, we're leaving now.
I found out as he came.
Oh, hey,
Go into that.
I gotta get up early tomorrow, so. We'll hang out for a little.
You gotta go too.
What? Oh.
You can leave your stuff, you can come back.
Yeah, we're not gonna go and look at anything.
And we're not gonna go on for hours, I guarantee you.
Well, I'm taking my things, so.
Well, you can't leave because we have to talk about it.
I know.
Okay. Don't speak out.
I'll use the mints.
There you go.
Just close the door on your way out. I call it, as I said to my husband, we're on our way, I'm on my way to our monthly meeting, not our monthly
Like,
meeting.
we're already charging putting things on the website.
Well, yeah, that's why I said that, because I just wanted them to understand that that's not my duty. Like,
We just approve it.
yeah, I just, you know.
We,
And even, and I remember, Joe saying that you cannot go into detail.
Yeah.
You can write an entire diatribe.
It's inappropriate
Because
to go into great
once-
detail. They want a
Once you
transcription of what
start
they
going
said.
into more detail, then that's more that they can say, wait a minute, you said it wrong. Wait a minute, she didn't say it like that. You just give a very brief synopsis, you know.
I mean,
our
they already
job.
know what they said. Why does it have to be
They
written?
keep thinking if it's on the record somehow, that makes what they said.
Realer?
That
So
was
stupid.
And Meryl had tried to do, yes, I asked her that everything's.
Yeah,
but yet sitting home listening to us.
yeah,
Yeah, they're after the glass.
yeah.
Door.
Well, Mara was the worst.
She wrote one of the meetings like this, the War and Peace on minutes. And between Joe and Jill, we were told it was, I forget exactly what happened. Did we not vote on them that month, or wait till the next month? Well, they were revised, but it was that way. Same thing, they, want to, they want us to summarize the correspondence.
Now, Joe says you run into this problem there, because once you start summarizing, they are going to say,
That's not what I said.
that's not what I said.
And again, the purpose of it is for somebody to communicate to us. And we get it, and we read them, right? We read them.
I read them.
I read everything.
Yeah, I do.
But that's the point, and that's achieved. The point is not to put something 5 minutes that's gonna go on the website and becomes part of the public record and that.
That's almost like one of those courtesies he was talking about. Because it's really just to show action. The minutes showed the action that's taken at a meeting.
And then
It's
somebody
really
spoke,
courtesy
okay,
to say that somebody spoke.
Yeah.
And our town clerk, she's very brief.
Yeah, they don't wanna sit and type up all of, I mean,
Yeah,
It's just, no, and the other thing was that I had brought in an effort to, I mean, when we were working on bylaws. So, well, why don't we just attach a copy of their correspondence? So shut them up, you know, we don't- and we were advised against doing that. By the attorney who, I didn't really agree, quite frankly, with this validity and stuff, but. Lisa, I almost called you Jill, I don't know why, Lisa is said, well, what about privacy there? People are writing to us. They're not writing to have their letter on the website, so it's a courtesy to privacy, which we'll discuss when you see the bylaws. This is one of the things, you know, well, what do you think? You know, yeah.
People's email addresses and servers and.
Or what if somebody writes to us critical of somebody? And I don't know, critical, let's say, you know, a staffer somewhere.
well, that's just it. That's also a problem too, but the thing is. Once it's on here, those letters are overall with the person's name, so they could get my friend Judy with the letter that she wrote and know exactly what she was saying to us.
I mean, they can
in a private
now.
conversation.
They can do
Judy
that.
at the Belvedere Presbyterian Church picking up my soup last week or 2 weeks ago, and I'm like,
I know you from somewhere.
Yeah. and it took me until I got home, I heated up my soup, made my grilled cheese sandwich, and I kept thinking, where do I know her? And I was like,
Yeah, the library. All right, so anyway, so you want us to chat it out.
It dawned on me yesterday that, after we were given the agenda, and it didn't occur to me, I was in Atlantic City last week. A lot of this went, it seems like the only contract decision that we make, the rest of it, like with Maine and all that, they make those decisions and they sign, but we hire the attorney if we want one. And last year, or the beginning of the year, what am I talking about?
Not if we want one. County wants us to have.
Yeah, well, that's. Right, oh, and I'm gonna mention something when we talk about, anyway, it just dawned on me yesterday, which is why it came up last minute. That when we met, you weren't here, Jake, you weren't at the rework, right?
No.
Okay, so you weren't here to know that. You know, I was a new member. You guys had been here 1 year, but I'm presented with these proposals and there was no discussion.
So you didn't even have a copy of the applications?
Yeah, I had those,
Okay.
but there was no
Right.
discussion.
Right.
Yeah.
And nor did I hear from Alex or anybody, hey, Debbie, there's gonna be something, which would be appropriate for them to do. I walked in here blind.
I didn't, I was still on my learning curve. I didn't think to do it.
And I voted for him only because I knew the firm
Right,
Mhm.
and I knew the firm had a good relationship with the county.
which is why I voted too.
That, you know, I'm not gonna hire a stranger. And I mean, not that I knew him, but I knew his
Right.
father. I knew their county council.
I just know the other guy.
There will be a good working relationship, okay? So that's the background. I'm looking through the packet the other day and I'm like, we're gonna, if we come to the reorg meeting, we're gonna have to make a decision
Mhm.
and we don't have a meeting between now and then, so
Right.
if we're gonna have a conversation, we need to have it tonight. And you have those, there's 3 reasons to go into executive session, Kaylee, you'll help me. Contracts, personnel, and litigation. And you're supposed to say what you're.
Right. That much I knew.
Yeah, that, so.
So so the purpose of this, obviously, sorry, is so because we have to rehire him or
Or pick
choose somebody else.
And
And
we don't make the decision tonight, we make the decision at the reorg meeting.
Okay,
But at least we've had we were convened and we had an
Okay.
opportunity to talk about a future decision that involves a contract, so.
okay. And you're not interested in changing.
He's not perfect, but. We can
Nobody
work
is.
with him, and I don't know well,
I was
one,
just gonna say there's a, one separate back.
you don't want them back. He was
No.
The ALA or.
Yeah.
The one, American Library
Anything,
Association.
you know anything about the other one?
No, and I would go with.
yeah, this summer,
Devil.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
one of his attorneys was one of my special ed parents out in, Montville Township,
Oh, that's right, that's where I think that's where they're based, like.
Mr. Tabakin. I'm like, oh, wonder how many he is.
How about that? What? What?
Now,
No,
which attorney?
Tiffany
Which firm?
Bill Wiener firm.
Wiener,
Yeah, it was,
is that over your class or?
Not Anthony Wiener. No.
so are we still on big, by the way?
Oh,
A big one. Oh, yeah, it was, oh, yeah.
I know when I would do transportation bids at work. We had to go by the cost.
Strictly the cost.
Are we going to,
And that's what,
oh,
as the other one is
less,
less.
Yeah, we're not bound by that.
but the budget's $40,000.
Budget, I think, is 45. And when we went through it, we only spent 14,000. That makes it this big.
I know, yeah, they act like,
Legal, so what am I not reading right? It was 41
Current budget year, okay, and 40 next year, I think she just did it for a round number. And yeah, as of when this worksheet was done, it was 16. Now, Amy asked what they paid last year for the other attorney, and it was less, but they were only there part of the year. They didn't get hired till when? The middle of the year.
I think September, October.
And it was explained that
He never came to it, he didn't come to.
he never came to meeting. He was like the prior library director's personal.
That's what I was just
I
gonna
mean,
say.
acting.
That's what I was just gonna say.
I told me that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was.
Which is not how it's supposed to be.
No.
So the fact that it's more than last year doesn't trouble me. And I had called Alex when we were first starting this, and I was looking at the bylaws, still like, this is gonna take a lot of turning time. And I called him, I said, you know, you told that your request of me when I accepted the appointment was to help get things organized. How it was working in the past, no reflection on you two. It was not organized, run well, whatever, and I said, well, you know, what do you think? He said, you have to have policies, and you have to, then you follow them. We haven't even gotten to the library policies yet, we were just,
Yeah,
but this had to be done first to set the stage
Yeah.
for that.
Right.
And I said to him, I called, you know, when I called him, subsequently, and I said, we're gonna ring up some legal bills here, and he said, don't worry about it. He said, the money's in the budget, and we've got to, you know, my words, not his, you gotta protect the county from liability and litigation, so you have an attorney.
Don't think that they are not waiting for a slip up.
Absolutely, I'm wondering, did we have proper notice of this meeting? Was it posted on the bulletin?
That's why I'm wondering, should I ask Jill?
It was
That
posted
question.
on the website, I believe.
It's posted
I
on,
went looking.
I don't know if it was when we came to the meeting that night, it wasn't posted here, I forgot to tell you,
And,
but it might have been the next day. It
and
could have been, this was the day they were changing the meeting, and it just hadn't been posted yet.
all right, so we're gonna go Bell back in
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 next
January.
meeting. Okay, yeah, you're still gonna be here,
At the
right? You're not
fifth.
going anywhere.
On the sixth.
On the sixth.
Right.
I thought Chris Allen told me I should really consider running for the hills
Wait, for what?
from here.
No.
Tammy's gonna
I
slap it
think
next
Chris
Chris.
said that to me, and I'm like, really?
Maybe Chris should be sitting over there. And he should.
Well,
know
that's what
this.
I have to say to anybody who's,
He has tuned in.
Yeah.
A few
he
times.
was being sarcastic, he knows, I'm sure.
I was texting him like, so and so from town is here. So he heard I've been kids. I talked to him, I think, more than I talked to my husband.
I've been there,
So
done that,
they were, and I don't wanna, so are we done? Cause I don't wanna.
yeah, and we really can't talk about other
Yeah.
decisions.
No,
I just want to talk about other things.
At the budget meeting, I asked Jill, I said, is there money for new cards?
Oh, yes, tell her that story.
And she's like, yes, she said, I can't believe it, to the friends of the library.
Remember the meeting they
Yes.
complained
Yes.
that the friends of the library had to raise money for a new card.
They approached Jill and said, can we fundraise to get you a new card? And Jill says, yes. And then
And they
they cut,
wanted a project.
I thought you said that. Jill said there was money in the budget for a card.
there
It
is,
was, but they asked her if they could fundraise to buy one.
and then come here and say how we're paying the attorney. And they have to go and get a card for
It's
Jill.
all about what people want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have anything to do with the truth. It's what they want to believe. And if that's, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna state the truth as I believe it and You know. what?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just,
Going around.
yeah,
down,
it's just,
like,
well, that's the thing, like, yeah, really, it's just so small and inappropriate, I think. It really is.
You know, all of us are just here doing the right thing. Now, I always, when I was an elected official, I used to say, democracy is not a spectator sport. You want to have democracy, people need to step up and fill the roles. From the president of the United States to the lowly library commission, somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're here for.
Right.
I don't have an agenda. Well, the zine circulation thing, that's been under myself for years. But we'll discuss that one, because we're eventually gonna get to, and somebody else is doing it. I did the bylaws, somebody else is doing. Next thing.
Yeah,
is
no,
the,
Debbie, let me tell you, Debbie has put an amazing amount of time into these bylaws. And I, not purposely, but took advantage of her expertise because she knows what the heck she's doing. I'm just there to like throw in a suggestion or something once in a while.
Thank you.
But she,
Yeah, that's awesome, and I really appreciate
Send
that,
mine.
because
robot.
Said wine.
Yeah, yes, remember I told the freeholders, I said, oh, thank you for doing this. I said, can I submit expenses for all the wines that I've had?
I know,
have to
I
buy, to drink after the meetings to calm
Yeah,
down.
really.
So, right, Jim never did buy me a drink. He promised he would.
So when I open the door, people are gonna come in
Let them
and
come in.
I'm just gonna adjourn.
No, then we're going to vote and it's an executive session.
Oh,
Okay, yes.
And then you ask for a motion to adjourn. And when we get, I'm hoping it's Thanksgiving, so I doubt it's gonna be before that. We're gonna finalize, what we think needs to be in the minutes tonight, and as soon as I get a chance. Maybe I'll run it by you again, just to make sure I didn't miss something, but basically, let's say by the end of the weekend, you're gonna have. We will email thing to you and make notes on it, and then. What's the next step? If you say, that looks good to me, then we're gonna put it on the agenda. If you think, well, we need to talk about this, we'll talk about it at the January meeting.
Okay.
And we can go over, or call me, write to me. I mean, actually, I encourage you to do that because I can explain it. You don't have to explain it at the meeting. So why is this stated this way? And I can say, well, the attorney said, or this is what I thought, and we can change it. I mean, some of the legal stuff we can't, but.
Right.
So that's where we are in the process, and. I will recommend that we do not submit it for public comment. We are not required to, contrary to the BS they've said. We are not required to. What I
Can we
suggest,
state that though?
when the time comes to vote, we can state that.
Okay.
Well, I don't wanna. I don't wanna state things till I put gasoline on the fire.
No, I agree.
Give
If
them
the,
time to prep.
no, well, we gotta adopt it, and then it's gonna go on the website, and what I would say is.
Read it.
Read it, and if you have comments, write to us. Submit comments in writing, and that we will look at your comments. And, consider.
They always come after us with the transparency thing. And it's like,
Because it's something I would say.
Well, like for this, the accessibility policy. It's about handicapped people. I mean, that's been around for 100, you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
why I asked.
I know, and I really
You just
appreciate that.
memorialized it.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's not, this isn't a brand new thing. You're like exactly what you said. I mean, do they not understand what that is?
they do,
They're
they
looking
don't care.
for anything.
Oh,
They're paying for anything. Right. So now,
Said before, to try to get us to court, so
Yeah.
they can.
They have. Cut the nose right off my face, despite them.
Do you want me to open the door?
well, all right, so wait,
You're gonna vote
so they're
to
gonna exit, I'm gonna vote. Or
You'll
make
ask for a motion.
motion to
Exit
enter,
executive session.
motion.
And then you can ask us, is there anything else
Yeah,
see anything else you all want to talk about, which we don't. And we'll then ask for a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Being delivered.
I'm gonna write a memo for your wine.
My daughter is delivering my turkey
Tonight.
Double
Yes,
up.
gets one from work, right?
Is it?
Hi, guys.
That is not even few people here that.
You're back, brother, for sure, right?
Oh, yeah. Look, that's 88 World Series or 80?
89 was the name, 88 was Kirk Gibson. He had that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you hung out?
Was Joe.
No public?
The,
93.
Oh, wow.
Here, 92 and 93 is the Phillies.
Great, can I have a motion to exit executive session?
I will make a motion.
Recording in progress.
I will make a motion to exit executive session.
Second that.
And was there anything? Oh, roll call.
Ms. Gerhart,
Yes.
Ms. Coop,
Yes.
Ms. Pascarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes. Anything else?
Just gonna mention this. I didn't realize we were video recording, and I think in the draft of the bylaws, it just say audio, so we're gonna have to make that change, but. This is for us. That recording is not a legal minutes meeting. Okay, people can observe it, but because we choose to do it, we're not obligated to
no, you're not.
record or post. We do that. Transparency.
Yes.
But correct me, Joe, if this was where I dreamt this. That when we approve the minutes for that meeting, that recording is gonna be removed. So it's basically for people, if they wanna see what happened up close and personal, they have to watch it. They got a month or more, to watch it. And then because we don't want conflicting. We don't want people saying, well, the recording said this and the minutes said this. It's not official. That's the way somebody's been.
And also, I just think that the briefest we can make the public comment, I think the better, because anything can be misconstrued if it gets any longer than it has to be. So I think what you're doing, like what you did,
We've tried. I
right,
think that works because then if they don't like how you documented their comments, then you're dealing with that issue as well. That's not what I said, or this, it's your interpretation. I think it's great that you identify their name, where they're from, and like the core of what they said. I mean, I beyond that, I don't know what else that you can really do.
Not unless we go back to where it was, I think, like we were doing like the whole paragraph per person. And we tried to,
In the past, it was in the days before.
right,
It was it was more of a summary.
there was more information, yes, I would say that's correct. But we've tried to edit it down to keep it to like 1 or 2 sentences.
I know that's,
and I think that's
I
appropriate.
think that's fair.
that's how our town council does it.
Yeah, I've never seen minutes with more than that, public comment.
And not only that, they do have a month to listen or watch it. And if they're that interested, whoever wants to hear somebody else speak can do that for a whole month.
Access it, sure, it's on the
It's not like it's
website.
not available to them for a whole month. They wanna know exactly what somebody said. Okay, so that's it?
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I'll second.
Recording stopped.